Welcome back. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you can continue to get these videos. I think now we've formed a series because today I'm going to be talking about how we can use our emotions as our metrics to guide us through life. How do we use the triggers and the things that have been taught to us as scary, so to speak, and that we can't trust and you don't make decisions with? I'm going to talk about why that's necessarily not true and how you can actually lean into your emotions to show you what it is that you need to see. So you do not want to miss this video on how our emotions are actually the flares that light up our life. So in air-based ground defense in the military, one of the resources that we have for limited visibility or limited sight is to shoot a flare, and typically done at nighttime. There are a few things about the flare process that I absolutely love to use when I'm talking about healing from your trauma, because I think it's so relevant to how we could use our emotions, again, as the metrics to guide our life. So imagine you and your teammate out on your post, and your job is to secure an area, space in which you can't see now because it's nighttime. And you were to hear something out there that you potentially think could be seriously dangerous. So you request for permission to shoot a flare. Before you shoot the flare, though, there are a few things that have to happen. One, you have to let your team know that you're shooting the flare, because if you don't, they will look up at the light, because it's such, one, a beautiful thing to see the light, but it also will be blinding to them. And they won't be able to do what it is that they're required to do once the flare has been shot. So you announce to your crew or to your team, flare, 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 so that they can look down when the flare goes up. What else is so beautiful about the flare is that it's the light in the midst of darkness. And what it does is, if you don't look at the flare and you look at what it's lighting up, you'll see what's actually in front of you. And that's what a flare does. A flare's job is just to light up the area in front of you, which is hard to see, so that you can then decide how to respond. Well, each and every one of our emotions does that same thing. But what happens with us is we don't let ourselves know that our flare has been shot, and we look up into it and get blinded by the fact that we're angry and think we shouldn't, by the fact that we're sad and we don't think we can be, by the fact that we're having very, very low moods and we don't think that's the right thing to do. That's when I'm caught up in the flare. But when I allow the flare to light up what's in front of me, my emotions then just say, pay attention. So my emotion of anger, it shoots off as the flare. Well, if I just get stuck in the fact that I'm angry, then I'm lost. But if I could pay attention to what's in front of me, I'm going to see what that flare illuminated. I'm going to see my state of mind. I'm going to see something in front of me. And then I get to decide. If it's something that I see that I want to be mad about, I stay mad. It will pass. Mad is not something that's permanent. But if it's also not something I need to be mad at, I can also let that go too. And that's why I think our emotions aren't something that should be ran away from, because they don't say anything other than pay attention to where you are right now. You can be in the middle of a minefield, or you could just be lighting up an area that's nothing there. So using those emotions as metrics to guide you just makes for a far better healing process than using them to control your takeoff and your landing. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was transformative, or at least, again, helpful to you in your overcoming trauma and reclaiming your life. Subscribe though, because I think the next video I want to talk about, as I was creating this one, was how triggers and numbness and things like that should be also used as a metric to guide us, and not as a weapon against ourselves. So click on that subscribe button so you get that video. Again, thank you for being a part of the channel, and have the day you deserve.